Good evening. My name is Sam Johnson. I was born in Monroe, Virginia in 1945. I'm the youngest of 18 children, and my mother's name was Fanny Johnson. My father's name was William Johnson. I have two sons, and I'm married to Mrs. Estelle Johnson. The life growing up for us was kind of tough. With 18 kids, with 18 children, we had a 3-bedroom house. But it was an interesting thing. It was 8 boys, I think, and 9 girls. But the boys never stayed in the house with the girls. The boys always stayed across the yard in what we call the boys' house. When you turned 5 years old, you had to get out of the house with the girl and you had to go across the yard. And that's where you stayed until you left home. You couldn't stay in the house with the girls, just too many of us. And that was kind of interesting. In the boys' house, there was only one bed, and everybody had to stay in that same bed. Stay in the same bed. There was no heat in there, but we made it. We made it through the winter months. We made it through the summer months. And in the morning, when you got ready to eat breakfast, Dad would step out on the porch and ring the dinner bell, and you would come over, eat your breakfast, get ready to go to the fields or wherever. And that's where you stayed for 12 hours. You only came back home to eat dinner, and went back to the field. Okay, I attended Central High School in Amherst County, Virginia. I didn't care for school that much because I had something else on my mind. I wanted to go in the military. And not only that, but I wasn't doing good in the military anyway. I failed 3 times. So in 1965, my father told me, son, it's time for you to go in the military. You got to get off the farm now, because everybody was growing up and leaving. So in 1965, I joined the military. I dropped out of school in the 12th grade and joined the military. And from there, that's when my career really started. My career in the military really started for 23 and a half years. My life in the military started in Fort Stewart, Georgia, where I had my basic training, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I had AIT, where I didn't finish my training before they cut it and sent me to Vietnam. February the 12th, 1966, I landed in Vietnam, and when I came back in October '69. I actually did for 3 years over there. It was rough. In fact, it was terrible. But I did 3 tours over there. And then I came home, and my career really took off then. I got out of the military after 6 years, and I turned around 15 days later and came back in because I didn't want to be a civilian, and I started my career all over again, and I went on and did 23 and a half years. My life as a father has been good, and it has been bad. I guess the good part about it was I had 2 sons, and I always wanted my sons to travel with me in the military. And I guess the bad part about it is sometimes they just couldn't be with me. I wanted them there, and they couldn't be with me. As a man itself, I feel in my heart that I did everything my father told me to do. He told me things you got to do to be a good father, to be a good husband, and I took all of those things and I put it together, and I think I came out one of the best fathers that any child could ever ask for. I did my best. I would just like to be remembered as a father that just did the best job that he could do as far as raising the kids, as far as the military, as far as the federal government. I always told my sons that I want you to follow in my footsteps, and I didn't teach them wrong. As far as the military, I had one son that just retired 3 years ago from the Air Force. That made me feel good because he followed in my footsteps. And my youngest son, I put 20 years in the government, and I told him, get in the government and go to the top, do better than I did. And I'm thankful today I can sit here and say, already, he's just a young man in government, and already he rose far above me than what I did in the government. And that just makes me feel proud.
Now, you're here in Florida because we're celebrating your younger son's engagement. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'm excited. I'm still trying to digest it all, but I'm really glad that he's finally found somebody he can spend the rest of his life with. He's been with us for 37 years now. Ever since he was born, he's been right with me and his mother. And I'm gonna hate to see him go, but we all knew, me and the mother knew, that one day he was gonna have to spread his wings and fly on his own. And so it looked like the time is right now. And I'm really glad for him. It seems like he's got a nice young lady, and that within itself means a lot. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to his mother. I would tell anybody that whatever you do the best job that you can possibly do. Everywhere you go, make sure Christ is in your life. And just do the best job. I don't care what it is, whatever job you're given, you do the best that you can do. Learn all you can about that job and just do it whether you like it or not. And that's something I had to share with my oldest son just 6 months ago. He's got a job he don't care for, but I had to sit him down and talk to him and tell him, hey, you're never going to move unless you just do the best you can and learn all you can with that job. And that's what I would tell anybody. Do the best that you can and do it to the best of your ability, and you'll be all right.